In this video, we're gonna take this 70 Camaro that doesn't have a roll cage and turn it into that. A complete roll cage, and show you the process as we do it. All right, got a friend here. His name's Stephan. He has a 1970 Camaro. And we're gonna basically finish out a roll cage that's been started on it. I'll show you what's been done. Got the B-pillar, got the rear supports. We're gonna add to it, of course. We're gonna finish out the cage, adding in the A-pillar and some supports for it. So it should be pretty cool. It's been how long of a project has this been, Stephan?
Probably about 3/4 of a year for the cage, but I started building the car as a shell in the summer of 2020.
Okay.
So it's been
cool.
It's been a fun project.
So we shall see how this comes out. All right, first thing we got to do is get measurements in the car. So we don't need your helmet per se, but let's get you in the car. I'm gonna get some tape measurements. I think we'll have enough clearance. I'm not too concerned about that, but we just want to make sure. Okay, so it's a little rudimentary, but we're gonna take some tape on the outside of the car for now. I'm gonna get the kind of the front of your head. There's actually a lot of room in here.
Yeah, they're saying that I had like none.
Well, how big's your helmet, you think?
I mean, it's pretty big, but I'm gonna have to get a new helmet anyways.
So you got 4 inches.
Really?
And there's plenty of room here, because we're gonna run down the side, obviously. Okay, so that's actually better than I thought we had. I thought it was gonna be way tighter.
Yeah, because
we're pretty good.
This is centered.
Okay. I make a test bend. We're using 1 3/4 inch tubing. This is a 120 wall DOM material. And on my test bend, I identify the start of my die. I also identify the start of the bend and the termination of the bend, or where the bend ends. I translate those starting and ending points just basically with tape and a marker up into the ceiling. I then take those measurements from beginning to end, straight lines through, add everything up on the tape measure. That gives me a reference point to start from blank stock. So if my measurements are right, we're just laying this out on a flat bar stock. Gives me now according to the test bend I did, we're starting, my reference points are the die marks, or where I started the die. So it's gonna be this mark. So I'm starting bending this way, that's my die mark. That's my die mark bending that way. So I'm working basically from the center out.
Okay. So this would be the center of the hoop?
Correct.
Okay.
We'll start at 90 here. It's gonna finish, in theory, it's finished there.
Okay. And that's this total distance of your bend?
Correct.
Okay.
So then we'll have, a U-shaped, all on the same plane. And then, according to this, 24 inches
after your bend.
From there, 24 inches is where we'll start, the next little toe in.
So this
And
should
there's
be,
plenty of material.
should be long enough for the hoop on both ends.
Oh yeah. We're gonna do this first.
Okay.
Because right now the most critical is getting the width correct.
For the front of the hoop.
Correct, because let's say we're off 2 inches, okay, then this whole piece is gonna be 2 inches too narrow.
Okay.
Once we get the width correct, it's pretty easy going after that. that. It's about 15. There's 16 there. Let's try that. Cool. All right, we're going for dry fit number 5 on our hoop here. Cool, let's see if we can clamp this in. There we go. All right, you gonna do the metal bar? Hold if you want to. Okay. Let's move.
I'll move a little bit.
Go ahead. All right. That was fitment number 5, we said?
Yep.
All right, got to make one of those corners a bit deeper, and we'll go for number 6. This should be, hopefully, the last fit. If everything checks out, then we will tack this in on the rear B pillar and support it up front and continue from there. All right, let's grab it. Take a look at this fits way better. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, way better.
Okay, let's support the middle. I got it.
Your side is at 190 and my side's 160. Now these are equal, 170, 170.
Okay.
Yeah, 180, 180. Maintain that penetration versus if you hit it and then let it cool. Almost there. I'm going to start towards the front
This will be towards the engine.
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
That's better. A little bit deeper though. There we go. Way better. So good? All right, do one more check. Yeah, we're good side to side.
I like that.
Okay. I got it. Cool. All right, so we got the A-pillar just tacked in after the hoop got done. Got both sides in the A-pillar. This is just a brace, that's gonna go away. And then we're gonna run, going from corner to corner, diagonal, but we gotta have enough head clearance, so we're gonna go be in the corner. We're gonna be kind of 6-7 inches out from the corner to that back one. Yeah, so that's gonna land. It'll be something like that. And then we'll tack into that over to the other side on that side, correct? Yep. So that'll give us head clearance for the driver and passenger, should there be one crazy enough to ride along. Nice.
So today we got the gussets, our diagonal bar done, our A-pillar bars done, the plates welded in on both sides, all the way around. But yeah, this comes down, it clears the steering wheel and the turn signal with your hands. This is all done. This was cool. We did an offset gusset, so we didn't have to go from this point to that point, so we have more headroom right here. Leon did a great job of making sure the welds go all the way around, something I couldn't do. How do you think it's turned out?
Yeah, so far so good. It's definitely been a learning curve, but I think for what we've been kind of dealt with, I think it came out pretty decent. You got good clearance for your feet. We kind of matched the A-pillars best we could to accommodate the hoop. This will be good. Cool, man.
Awesome.
All right, so we are gonna fab in a swing out bar door. It's gonna land something like this, give or take. And there's a kind of a coupler here. So that'll get welded in. When this pin's removed, if you wanna hold that tab, when that pin's removed, then this is gonna pivot off as the door. So in order for this obviously has to clear the door. And so when the B pillar was set, we're a little too tight, so that won't be able to work. So to compensate that, came up with a little bit of a design with the help of Stephan. Basically just went to 90. That's gonna get welded on something like this. This will probably go a little bit further up, and then that will give us our clearance to then clear the door, to give us our swing out. So it'll be something to that effect. Good fix?
Good fix.
Yeah, man. Cool.
Okay, so we just installed these tabs, same style tabs that we'll have on our swing out bars. We tacked them in, we zeroed it, and we put in our swing out bar. This way, if we have any passengers or we want to put any tires or any other supplies back here, we can pull this bar out, ease of access with these two pins.
All right, we're finishing up Stephan's 1970 Camaro, doing a full cage on the inside. So we'll come over here, kind of give a tutorial. We did the A pillar, goes up of course to the hoop. We did our inside the cage hoop. We did a crossbar to give us some length and width for the head to clear. Connected of course into the B pillar, got our crossbar with our seatbelt mounts. We have our door, our swing out bar door. Basically mirrored that on both sides. So Stephan, what do you think, dude?
I think the cage came out pretty good. One of my biggest fears when doing the cage was my headroom, and obviously trying to hide the cage as much as possible. But when you design this kick over brace and then our diagonal bar, I mean, it gives me a ton of headroom, and it'll also give a ton of headroom for a passenger.
For the passenger, yep.
And then my other fear was trying to keep the A-pillar roll bars as far forward, but yet still kind of hiding them at certain angles.
So we lose it in the body on your A-pillar view, but what was actually a bit of a challenge was the dash. You can see how far this dash actually comes out, so we needed to clear that.
Yep. And we did a really good job, and it's still a gap, so we can pull this dash out and remove it if we need to.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm super excited about it. I think right here, when you come into the car, you can clearly see the amount of room that you have with this diagonal bar that's giving us support to the hoop, but yeah, it's still plenty of head clearance for the driver and the passenger.
Yeah.
And then when we came to doing the door bars, you did this little design hoop right here to move this forward.
So in order for obviously the door bar to swing out and clear the body, obviously that needed to be out from that. And because the B pillar was sat so far back, instead of doing like a 7 or 8 inch, just a post, we came up with this kind of a hoop design and obviously put the tab off of that hoop. It made it a little bit cleaner. You're not gonna necessarily gouge as you come in and out, and something to hold and grab onto.
When doing that.
Well, you'll have to keep us in the loop as you start the final assembly on this, because I'd really love to see this.
We'll come back and we'll do some more updates.
Another video, sure.
The paint and whatever else we do with the interior.
All right, dude. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. Later.